Hello from Portland. This video is actually a response to a question/comment my brother posted on my last video. My last video was about political activity and campaign activity by nonprofits. My brother asked a question about campaign activity by private corporations and whether I agreed with Supreme Court rulings that basically gave corporations free speech rights. And I have to say, I do agree with the rulings. And I think this is an area where a lot of people whose instincts are generally liberal come to some very non-liberal conclusions because they rightfully dislike and distrust big corporations. What you generally hear from people on the left is that corporations don't have free speech rights, they're not people, and only people have free speech rights. And I think that's demonstrably wrong. We confer legal rights on all kinds of voluntary associations of people. Churches are not people, but we don't let the government shut down churches. The New York Times is a corporation. CNN is a corporation. The ACLU is a corporation. All of these institutions are corporations. All of them have gone into court on numerous occasions and sued and been sued in defense of their free speech and free press rights. In fact, the First Amendment, if you look at it, is very much a document about collective action. The rights are speech and press, and in this context, that clearly implies not just talking to yourself, but joining with other people, collectively spreading information, exchanging information. Obviously, the right to worship. Worship in this society has traditionally been a collective activity. And the right to assemble. Those are all there, and those are all rights that we have traditionally, rightfully extended to all kinds of associations of people. The really difficult part of advocating freedom of expression is that you end up with lots of expression that's from people you find distasteful or that have too much power already. All kinds of things happen when you don't have central regulation of expression. But I found the alternative of central regulation of expression to be much, much, much worse. I think you see it in things like this IRS scandal where we're trying to have a government agency, even a government agency staffed by philosopher kings of the highest caliber, which the IRS is definitely not. Even the most well-intentioned, well-staffed, well-equipped agency is just not going to be able to be completely fair and objective in distinguishing who's legitimately exercising free speech rights. So in general, as a rule, in the absence of some huge overwhelming consideration on the other side, I think we should let people and associations and corporations and churches and groups say what they want to say, publish what they want to publish, organize how they want to organize, try to influence the political process to enact policies they want to enact, whether I like them or not, and stay out of the way. I think liberals should be embracing the idea of giving power to voluntary associations of people, because that's the only way that individuals have ever been able to really influence the political process, whether it's through labor unions or churches or political parties. We absolutely need to have more transparency in campaign spending. I think people should know where the money's coming from and where it's going. I don't think the problem is so much corporate money per se as it is the kind of dark money, a lot of which comes from just rich people who aren't even acting through corporations. So that's a bigger problem, having money that's not really accounted for. But that's really a different question from whether corporations should have First Amendment rights, which they clearly do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.